what happens if Moon is not on the same page and he doesn't cross over? Is it
Well,
still good?
he doesn't have to instantly. I'm just saying that that can happen at some point. He doesn't have to.
So it's more about preventing us from being in a bad situation rather than getting in a good situation.
Well, I think what I'm suggesting is you putting yourself in a good position.
Well, yeah, but is it still a good position if Moon doesn't do this? Like, I understand why it's still I should do it because then this guy, if I go like this, and this guy can't get around. But if Moon doesn't do this, it's just
Um,
to stay alive at that point, or just to make it so that he can't get around.
Let me draw this. Oops. Okay. So let's just move pieces around. So this guy is trying to do this. So, but you, fuck. But you successfully are. You're basically at this corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like whatever's going on over here, it really just doesn't matter because this is now just superior. Because what you're forgetting too is that you actually landed hits on both of them, so you guys can play it slow. Like I don't know why there's like such an urge to do something huge when you're already winning the round. And
Yeah.
then if you do this, right? Because now this guy. So consider this. So I think your teammate moves a little. Let's just consider that he doesn't cross, but I think he moves a little bit like this, right? And this guy's gonna follow or whatever.
Mm.
Okay. Consider the case that for whatever reason he decides he can't cross. So you're just sitting at this corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy, now he's going to be tempted to do this. Because now that you're at this pillar, now that you have the safety of the pillar, what the fuck is he going to do? He can't do anything. So essentially what you're doing is you're completely cutting off his pathing so that he only has one angle. And this is what I was trying to explain to you against the War Axe as well. Is now that you are essentially blocking this potential, he has only one angle, and it's very, very clear. Anytime he's about to do something, you will immediately know what he's doing because he only has one option. He's
And then I could just be ready to punish it.
right. He's either going to attack you, which again that doesn't really do anything, and right, and the more times that the more time he spends trying to attack you, the more likely that that crosses to occur, and that's exactly what happens in the clip. Okay. But on in the scenario where he realizes that 1v1ing you here is useless, he's forced to try and do this. And so your teammate, being the good aware frontliner that he is, should just understand this and see this and realize that he too has to do nothing. Neither of you have to do anything because they're going to do something. They're going to fuck up. And if they try and regen, well, that's when things change. And that's when but there's no regen. So what I'm saying is, um, you can take the fight slowly. It's like creating 2v1s and stuff is great. Like cross this guy and like, it's 2v1. Like that's great. Great mentality. But you have to realize that
There's
just
no reason to.
there's no reason just randomly saying that actually a lot of the times like doing something like that might just lose you the round. You don't need to do anything here. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to sit and wait because this guy is absolutely cucked. Like what is he going to do? He can't do anything. It's the same thing with that War Axe scenario, right? I don't even have to redraw the scenario. Imagine this is the War Axe.
Yeah.
And then imagine you're just body blocking him, okay? And if you remember, here was the other pillar, right? And your spear teammate was like this. He's a little more like this, and this guy was just aggressing him. Okay, so again, because this War Axe is like, I mean, you even said it yourself. A lot of the rounds he was trying to get behind you like that. Um, because of that, now this War Axe is probably going to try and do some stupid shit like this. And then if he does that, it's really easy for you to punish. And all you have to wait for is this War Axe to feed you, and then you can just do this. and it's just like this back and forth. It should be very like systematic. Right, and that all you like, you could even argue that you're just waiting for your spear to do this. And now, right, like this is assuming that this War Axe is just dueling you the entire time, that the War Axe has not chosen to do this, right? That's what this is assuming. So now, because this red guy is aggressing the spear, now you actually have an opening to do this and have it like be super worth where you can do this. And now this guy just dies. So, yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. So if you're this guy, then what is the play? As far as, let's say I did stand here and he can't get around me, what does he do? Because if he didn't have HP advantage, do they just go back and try to regen?
That's what I'd do. But it also depends on what your teammate is doing. That's kind of like, it's too broad because at that point it's so dependent on a bunch of different things.
Okay.
What you might do in that scenario is end up, I mean, he can just pull you out of that corner. Where if this left red guy sort of, okay, I should not have ended the paint. Back to paint. Uh, So what their red guy, if he's smart enough, might do is see this or understand this, and then he might just do something like this, which if this blue guy allows it, then let me do it in black. So this red guy might do this, sort of moving this way, and then trying to push this guy back. Or what's probably more realistic is this red guy will sort of do this, where he will try and I don't really know how to detail it super well, but he'll essentially try to do something like this, where now this red guy can do this, and essentially that's going to pull you out. That's going to force you to react. Because, right, if that X guy is able to go here, that's really bad, because then your teammate just dies. So at that point, it'd be a question of like somehow pulling you away from that corner, which is probably entirely dependent on whatever happens over here. So if you're this red guy, there's not really like there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's the same for you. What I'm saying is like there's nothing you should really be looking for. You should just be waiting. This is kind of dependent on what these two do over here. Because I mean that's really just the answer. Is what can this guy do? Well, it completely depends on what's happening over here. Because he can't do anything to you, and you can't do anything to him. I mean,
Right.
you guys are just going to be trading reposts back and forth.
I see. So we both don't really have to do anything until an opportunity arises, is what you're saying?
Right. I mean, your left frontliner should actively be creating some kind of opportunity.
Makes
Hello.
sense. What's up, player?
Not much. What's going on?
Just going over some clips.
Nice. Did I miss any?
Yep.
A little bit.
Shoot. Okay.
More than a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, Cash, you
Alright.
should just watch the entire VOD.
Yeah, I did.
No. The one I just linked you. I linked you that timestamp.
Oh, I thought you meant the one you did on Twitch.
No.
Cash, what's on what clip are you showing right now that you have paused?
I'll play it for you. This is just a 2v2 clip.
Oof.
So it worked out really well, but as Ryan was saying, it couldn't have if this guy had just like played it right. So if he just kept running, then now we're in a really bad spot. So I was supposed to move. I'll rewind a little bit. I should have been moving over here to prevent this guy from getting to the right of me. And then it makes it easy for us to secure this 2v1. But because I stay here, it could have ended really badly. That was basically the summary of the clip we just went over.
Okay.
Oh, Ryan, I have a clip or a question about 1vx here.
Okay.
So I end up winning this, but I was rewatching it and thinking like I could have played it a lot better. I feel like I was greeting a lot for these backswings. Like right there I hit him, and then I go for another backswing where I can hit both. But looking back, I feel like I should have just like kept going. Would you agree?
I think it's fine to just keep backswinging like that.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like this backswing, if the Maul had parried it, now, and obviously it wouldn't have hit him because the Maul would have parried it, but I would be sandwiched. And then now I have to like figure out where I want to go.
Nope, because you have to remember there's weapon knockback in the game. So he's not going to immediately be ready to just respond if he does parry your backswing.
What if he reposts? Now I have to look at him to respect it, and then this guy becomes a threat.
That's fine. This guy isn't winding up. He's in fear.
I see.
I mean, clearly he disconnects.
Right, but let's say he didn't disconnect. Isn't this bad for me?
I mean, he's not winding up.
But how am I supposed to be
Yeah.
able to see if he's winding up if I'm not backswinging?
Well, because he's not.
Or is it
winding
just
up.
because I hit him?
It's because you hit him.
He's probably back there parrying right now.
But he could wind
Same
up like
effect.
right now. I don't know.
Same
But he-
effect
but
on
he
me when I'm
doesn't.
up against.
He doesn't wind up though. He just dies.
But I think what Cash is asking is what if? Then what does he do?
Yeah, if
Well-
this guy, let's say the spear guy trusts his Maul to parry this backswing, or he like goes for a chamber or something, and the Maul does parry it, now aren't I in a bad spot?
Well, that's kind of where it's
Right.
you're going into the realm of like fucking time travel. So I don't know. I don't have a time machine. I don't have a hypothetical machine. 1vx is kind of just like, I mean, you should never expect to win them, and 1vx is really more dependent on what they fuck up. So I don't know. I wouldn't really overanalyze 1vx too much. I see
Okay.
backswings. I like.
Okay. It was just my understanding that I should be looking to get on the outside, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity considering I just hit the Maul that's behind me, and this guy isn't backpedaling hard enough, so it just kind of
Well,
lets me.
so one thing you can do is like, let's say that Maul does parry your backswing, should just immediately be sprinting, because again, if he does like parry it, his repost is not going to reach you if you're immediately sprinting.
Yeah, and it's really slow because it's a Maul.
Because he's gonna get knocked back. That might even be the case with other weapons, unless he's literally like on your ass cheeks. The backswing, the knockback from that should just be enough, so you can actually do what you're saying while backswinging. The problem is with how you're doing the backswings, you're not really trusting in yourself, so you're kind of stopping because you don't know exactly where the Maul. You know where he is, but it just doesn't seem like you're super confident that your swing is gonna hit him.
So I should have kind of done this as I backswing, rather than like staying here and just like whipping
Well,
my ass.
I was saying you could do what you're saying, just go left, like keep running to the
Oh.
outside while backswing.
So the same thing but mirrored then, just kind of do this as I backswing.
Right.
And then even if he parries it here, it's still good for me. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotcha. I think that's like all my clips. Moon, do you have any clips?
Let me see.
He's just scrolling through all the clips he's got.
I've got 85 right here. Just give me a minute.
85.
Play them all.
I gotta go, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.
But
Man, this new Steam Discord overlay. Don't like it.
Yeah, I've got some really poor clips that we could look at, but I don't know if they're necessarily worth it. I mean, they're really, really slow.
It's up to you.
Oh, I just found something tilting. Oh, it's so tilting. How bad North was.
You want to share?
Oh, they're so bad. Oh, they're so.
Who's
so
GG?
Toxic.
It's funny how bad they were. Still are. Alright, look at this. So we should just lose the round. Can
Are you
I-
blue?
Yeah, we're blue. So this is what I wanted to point out, like, again, about environment. Right, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna first launch Epic Pen. So basically what's gonna happen is these two are gonna try to 2v1 me, and I'm just gonna hug this, and then these two are just gonna 1v1. Okay? And then the way they 2v1 me is just absolutely fucking troll.
Ryan?
Old man. So the big thing is, like, these two, they literally just stand here. Like, this guy, I don't know.
He disconnected.
I mean, look, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Raccoon, dude.
So this is what I meant by, like, a 2v1 isn't scary unless you actually are able to sandwich the guy. Because I'm literally just in this corner. And actually, it's probably bad because my teammate's losing his 1v1. But they're just standing here. So that's just like an example of, like, you know, again, really, like, movement just tells the whole story. The fact that this fucking, I think this is Coon God. The Coon God himself, Raccoon.
Raccoon's epic.
I think because he's not, like, he's just not moving. He's just refusing to use his fucking WASD keys. And because of that, they actually lose the 2v1. Probably because I'm just able to use him as a repo spot. So, I don't know, I was just looking through this and I found that. Thought it was interesting.
It is kind of interesting how you use your like environment to help you out or in the 2v1. Because you pretty much never lost two people inputting on you. All you had to do was parry. And then your teammate won the engagement.
Yeah.
You
Look
should
what,
instinctually move towards a rock to help you.
look what happened. I think, is it this round? Maybe it's the round before this?
If you want to see another good example that it's in the vault, the clip Yes is a good example of that too.
Alright, here's another one. But this is one where they should just win it. Right? They should just win it. But they lose it. Because, yeah, I don't know.
He didn't parry, bro.
He disconnected.
Oh,
But,
did
like,
he?
right, like, no, I mean, like, he basically, his brain disconnected. So this is a scenario where, like, 10 out of 10 times, if you're this person, you should just die. So this is where it's like different because now they actually have this person sandwiched, yeah. So in this situation, this is where like environment doesn't help you. This is what I was trying to say, Cash. If they have you in a situation where you actually are sandwiched, there's nothing about environment that helps this player here. Nothing about the environment helps here. But in that other clip, you could see how it did help. So now I guess maybe that's right. I don't win because of the environment. I win because fucking Morning or Haiti, whoever that was, disconnected. Yeah, this is a good VOD actually. I don't know why I never referenced this one.
Because you're dumb.
True. I'll flame you, Quasi. You make us almost lose this round.
This one? Dude, I
Uh-huh.
play like shit in this game. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, look at you. Right there. Look at you. Look what you did. Look at you. You run this way. Don't leave me, Quasi. The fuck? Good times. This is when Omega was playing for a bit.
I remember. Omegle. Good old Omegle.
We were farming them here with Omega. Yeah, this is a good good VOD to look at because I think we lose a good amount of rounds actually, and the rounds that we do win are successful. I like this VOD. And Mac is playing Greatsword. What the fuck is that?
Mac can only play Halberd. Wait, do you have any of the Picnic Squad games recorded?
I don't think so.
That sucks. That's a shame. That's a good one. Those are good ones.
Can you explain the picnic thingy? I've heard that a lot, but I still don't know
It's
what it is.
literally just 2v1ing. I can paint it really.
Yeah, it's just a dumb name for a 2v1 strat or team that just goes around.
It's a little bit different though. A little bit different. So let me draw the pillars. Pillar. Now we're looking at this from a different angle. Just the ammo box is there. Okay. So basically, there'd be like 5 of us. Yeah. Let me just do the X's. Something like this. And then the enemy team might be something like this. Something like this. So essentially what would happen is that they would push like this. And then we would see this, and then what we would do, so we're pushing like this, but then what would happen is I would say like, okay, actually it's usually Mac who called it because he was the one who could see the whole fucking map. He'd just be like, yo, let's go Picnic Squad, and then we would just break off as a pair. And once we broke off as a pair, we would essentially just go around. And so what happens is, oops, motherfucker, I'll just do it. 1x at a time. So I'd be running like this way, right? And then he'd be following me. Okay. And then these people would keep they would keep pushing like this. And so then what this turns into is our frontliners would just essentially run like this. They'd be running this way, essentially running away from this incoming engagement, right? And then what they do is they would latch onto the corner of the pillar, basically set up like how it is. I can maybe make it a little bit better. So they'd latch onto the corner like this, with a spear here or whatever. They just latch onto the corner. Okay. So now that they have the safety of their environment, then all of a sudden, let me draw the enemy team's movement. So then essentially what would happen is these people start coming over here like this. And because of how it is, you'll notice that the teammates end up having to go around like this, which costs time. Do you see that? Where it's like, because of this pillar, right? This center frontliner for this team, He can't just like he can't do this. He can't fucking walk through the pillars. It costs a little additional time for him to actually walk like this. Same thing with this front line. It's gonna cost additional time for him to get all the way around like this, right? Their supports would follow, something like this. But the key that would happen is that since we were always usually the ones first to the play, what would happen is, like Mac and I would be running around like this, and as they're running, essentially what would happen is we would catch one of them, maybe lagging a little bit behind, and then just instantly 2v1 them, delete them, and then since it's really hard to kill these three, they just lose the fight. So it's a little more complex than just like a 2v1, but that's basically what it was. That was the call at least. To just go picnic squad someone.
Don't forget the rat counter picnic squad, where they would try to do some gay wraparound, and then you guys, the picnic squad, break up, instantly kill them, and then we would win the rest of the engagement.
Yeah, it also applied to if they were using a rat. We would just sort of wait for the rat to overstep, and then once he did, kill him, and then resume normal operations. And by the way, if you want to visualize this and understand, like, well, okay, why would someone be lagging? Like, how would you catch someone lagging behind? The main reason is that usually in these scenarios, they're all just trying to sprint at these three, which makes sense, right? Like, they're trying to just sprint at this engagement, and they're not taking time usually to carefully decide how they want to engage. And so they end up just like running as fast as they can. And because of that, they're not super grouped, and usually one of them got picked. I wish I had a clip of it, but I don't really have a clip of it. At least I don't remember one.
Essentially, we were already ahead of what they were trying to do, as in push around the pillar. So they were playing catch up.
Yeah.
And we just killed the stragglers behind.
That one cache, that one VOD's good to look at.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
that's
the vault.
right. That's with even Nick Average is playing some of those rounds. So it was pretty fucking hard to play those games. Because we had Omega and Nick Average playing. So but I think we still won.
I'm pretty sure we won.
Most of them at least. I don't know why June would record it or upload it unless we lost some. You know what I'm saying?
Losses, bro.
There's no way he uploads that VOD unless somewhere in there there's like a loss.
Anyone trying to do an in-house?